Hi everybody, welcome to episode 0.25 of the Mac Life Show. Mac Life Live. We are live from the Mac Life headquarters. Apparently everything at the Mac Life headquarters is painted blue. The reason we're calling this episode 0.25 is because it's really, the show is in beta. We're trying stuff out. We've already gone through like 3 cameras. We've gone through 2 wireless mics. We're just trying to like get everything going technically, and we want to find out what you want to see in a show. So it's 0.25, we're in early beta. Yeah, and we're hoping, if you go to maclife.com, you look at the page, you can send us some feedback. You can send us feedback on Facebook, on Twitter, or you can send us feedback at the Mac Life Show Live at gmail.com. So, yeah. So I'm Robbie, this is Flo. If you listen to the podcast, you've heard our voices. If you read the magazine, you've probably seen our little happy smiling faces on the thing. So, how you doing, Flo? You feeling? Flo's a little nervous. I'm
a little nervous about this live thing.
She asked me if she should have a yogurt before we did this, and I said, well, how's your stomach feeling? And she said, it's okay. And then she ate it, and now she's a little nervous. So, give us a little. She's okay. She's cool. So we're going to start off. We're going to talk about the new hardware that Apple released just recently, which is the new iPods. Now we have the new iPod Touch, which is super thin. And the thing about the new iPod Touch is that it has a camera on the front and the back. So here's Flo. And then, look, there's Jason. Jason Amor. He's our producer. That's how you say his name. Amor. Now, it's cool because it has a camera. It's not so cool because the camera's not that great.
It's really not.
Yeah, it's not. We haven't gotten word back from Apple like what the actual megapixel is. So, but it's definitely not iPhone 4 great. And it doesn't do HDR, which was a big letdown. We were hoping we get some HDR on the new iPod Touch, but it's quick. It works really well. It plays all our favorite.
I put some Smiths on there.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. So Flo put some Smiths on here for us. There you go. Live, hey people. So yeah, the new iPod Touch. It's a cool little device. It's so thin that you can't see the button from the front anymore. It's actually on the curve. So if you're looking for a new iPod, or you're thinking about an iPhone but you don't want to deal with AT&T's contracts, the new iPod Touch is really cool. Like I said, you can take pictures of the front and back. You can do FaceTime with it, which it does FaceTime through your email. So you don't have to worry about contracts. You don't have to worry about phone messages or any of that jazz. If you have like some flip phone from Sanyo that you had for 14 years, and that's all you want to do is make phone calls, then the iPod Touch is probably a really cool machine, and it's got Game Center on there and everything. So Flo is going to talk about the new.
So this is the new iPod Nano, and we went with a nice red one, which is a part of the Project Red. Product Red. And the screen is multi-touch, so let's see. I know it's really small, so it might be kind of hard to see. Might be kind of hard to see, but let's see. So it's got a couple screens, not too bad. The cool thing about it, and actually I kind of like the thing about it, is the fitness. It's got a pedometer on it, so it's really good if you're going to take it to the gym. It's got Nike Plus on it as well if you want to spring the cash for that. And the pedometer, can also give you like daily goals. It's also got FM radio on it, which
if you're listening, who's listening to FM radio?
I still listen to FM radio. I mean, say you want to listen to NPR or something, you could totally listen to this, on your train ride to work. And what's awesome is that the radio has something called live pause, so you can pause the radio if you need to do something or talk to some random guy on the street, and then continue listening to where you left off on the radio. So kind of like TiVo, but for your iPod. It's got the traditional Genius playlists. It has the voiceover, and it also has this cool mode where you can do white on black instead of black on white. And
it's like an accessibility if you
and it has a mono mode, so
Beatles.
Yeah.
Beatles albums were re-released in mono mode.
Yeah. So.
Pet Sounds re-released in mono.
Robbie knows better than I do.
Mono.
So yeah, and you can clip it anywhere on your body. You know,
Anywhere. Well,
anywhere you have somewhere you can clip it onto, really.
Probably your clothes. I mean, you could clip it on your ear.
Clothing, maybe a lanyard if you want to go that way. And it's got a watch mode, although, or rather a clock mode, although I don't know if we'd suggest using it as a clock all day.
So here's the deal with the clock mode. Everyone's like, oh, we're going to make watch bands for it. And so now, put it up on your wrist like this. Do this. So it's pretty large. It's kind of the biggest.
Stylish though.
And we found out from some of our friends. Oh, there it's gone now. That it'll die if you leave that watch on all day.
Yeah,
it'll
so
actually
it won't last
the watch.
24 hours.
Yeah, the watch actually kills it quicker than music. Time is a killer.
And you can't wash your hands with it on. And I guess a couple of companies are now releasing like wristband cases so you can put it in. And you can't, I mean, think about it. You can't really wash your hands with the iPhone on because of,
it'll get wet.
It'll get the water damage.
It's not water resistant.
Apple doesn't really like water to touch their products.
Well, that's electronics in general.
Right.
And gremlins. And witches of the West. Wicked ones.
What Robbie said. So yeah, that's the iPod Nano. It's $149 for the 8 gig and $179 for the 16 gig, and it doesn't have video, which you know is some are a little upset about it, but you know it's relative. But it does have photos, so if you want to put some photos of your cute dog on there or your nice little kitty, you can do that and share it with your friends.
There you go. If you have a kitty or a dog. Yeah, it didn't. When we checked them out at the event, they're like, well, does it do video? And they're like, well, no. And then, you think about it, this thing is so small. I mean,
I don't really want to watch video on that.
I'm trying to watch video on that.
That's what I want this for. I want this for video.
And I think they're thinking, or the iPad, yeah.
But,
So Apple also released a new iPod Shuffle, which is actually the old iPod Shuffle. They just kind of updated it. They had this iPod Shuffle. Then they made the one that looked like a tracking device that you shove in your neck. That no one liked because it didn't have any buttons. Like, oh, we're going buttonless, which, yeah, that didn't work out so hot. People didn't really like that. And I guess there was a huge demand for the old ones that were like this. So they listened to their customers, which is nice, and they came back to this. It's really the old iPod Shuffle. It has a built-in voiceover, has a little clip. These are great if you run or you're a ninja and you're going through the Japanese airport and you need to get to your ninja stars quickly before the authorities find out. Yeah, it's $49, $50. You get 2 gigs worth of music. These are great for, if you can't afford something as magical as this, or even, this, if you don't need all these, touch screens and turning and all that stuff. This is a great little device, shuffles, loud, stop, play. If you listen to shuffled music anyway, like I do, this is great, and it's a great second iPod if you go to the gym a lot. In case you only have an iPhone or an iPod Touch, you don't want this big giant thing lugging around on your arm, which I've done. It sucks. This is a great little way to get past that. And like I said, it's $50. Buy 3, buy 4, give them to kids on the street, share them with the neighbors. Stocking stuffers, party gifts. I don't know. I couldn't afford to give this to like a bunch of people.
Somebody can.
So, yeah, if you're rich, you could send me and Flo one. That would be nice.
I'd like one.
Flo would like one.
In pink, please.
And finally, Apple didn't update the iPod Classic. It's exactly the same. 160 gigabytes, $250.
Black or silver?
Black or silver. What are you going to do to it? I mean, we were hoping for 250 gigabytes. It'd be nice to have a device that you can shove absolutely every song you've ever heard in your entire life into some music videos, some
Mac Life podcasts.
Mac Life podcasts. Maybe this, when it's not live, obviously, because that wouldn't make sense. Yeah, so the iPod Classic, $250, 160 gigabytes. If you just need mass amounts of music, and you don't care about phones, you don't care about games, you don't care about any of that junk. It's still a pretty good deal. And let's see what else we have up on our script. How are we doing so far? Let's look. I'm looking at my Twitter feed. Magical. UGG. Oh, there's UGG ads. I'm sorry. We don't. Oh, there's some lag. We're sorry about the lag as well. That's Ustream, and we don't have any control over Ustream's ads. So if there's an UGG ad, and then someone else told me
Uggs are nice, kind of.
What else? There was another crazy ad. I think it was like Dolly Madison or something. I don't know. So we don't have any control over the ads right now. Eventually, we'll have our own video player that streams, and then we can, target ads just that you want, like iPods and iPhones and
Watch bands for your iPod Nanos.
Watch bands for your iPod Nanos. So the other day, yesterday, the day before? I don't even. Apple released 4.2, the beta 4.2 for developers. Lucky for you and for me, I'm actually a developer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I forgot to turn off the lock screen, because that's going to get really crappy quick. All right. So the first thing you're going to notice with the new 4.2 for the iPad, and this is also for the iPhone, but you have to be a developer. Do not download this from a website if you're not a developer. I had a friend who downloaded it from some random torrent site, and he wasn't a developer. Apple checks this while it's installing on your machine, on your phone, or on your iPad, or on your iPod Touch. And it bricked his phone, and the people at the Apple Store were very nice in giving him a new phone. So, you know, just wait. November, it comes out. It's really great, and it's also a beta. So there's a couple things that weren't, like some of my favorite apps just didn't seem to, were kind of acting weird. But seriously, do not download this and try to cram it onto your device if you're not a developer, because you're going to open up a whole world of hurt.
Bad news bears.
Bad news bears. So the first thing you notice is that, whoops, the Poly 6, there we go. You double tap, and now we have multitasking. Yay! Now, what Apple has done is in the little iPod controls is they've added the orientation lock. This little orientation lock button doesn't orientation lock anymore. Now it's the mute button, just like your iPhone. Look at that.
Nifty.
Also, what's really cool in here, the iPad, you can, whoops, whoop, you can adjust the brightness, which is super helpful for people like myself who have very sensitive eyes. I have special eyes. And of course, you have the ability to play your music. Yeah, you probably don't want to hear that. So, you know, we have some multitasking. Most of Apple's apps, of course, right now have multitasking. You know, none of the other apps. But when this goes live, people will be rewriting their apps, getting them ready for multitasking, which is really great. Boop. Also, what you can do is you also have folders, but now you can put 20 items in a folder.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot of folder items.
I haven't seen this.
So if you have a bunch of games and you've just been filling up your iPad, you can throw them all in your folder, which is nice. The second thing. Oh, you can finally turn spell check off if you are the spell check champion, or if you use a lot of slang or swears. You won't have to worry about when you get really mad, saying shoot all the time. So you can just go into your settings, go into general. Where is that at? Hold on. See, this is live. I should have checked this out, but I forgot, because we're too busy fighting with our audio problem. So you're just going to go into settings, general, keyboard, because you're going to be using your keyboard, and you can turn off auto correction and spell check. So if you, like I said, if you use a lot of swears, if you do a lot of slang that doesn't make sense to the iPad, you can turn that off. So that's nice, and that's coming something over from the iPhone. And Game Center looks way cooler on the iPad. It's much larger. It's loading. I'm going to put my finger over here because I don't want you people sending emails to my home account. But it looks much nicer. Your friends show up. It's still loading. I think we're having a Wi-Fi issue. So if everyone could turn their Wi-Fi off right now, just like the Apple event, that would be great. All your friends will show up right here. You can click on them, see all their achievements. You can play games against them. It'll show you your games and your achievements. It's a much cooler experience than on the iPhone. The iPhone, it's nice, but this looks, you know, we have a lot more real estate. And of course, what everyone really loves, especially myself, is unified email.
Oh, yeah.
So let's make sure, I'm not going to show you guys an email that is super secret. So there we go. So now you have your inboxes. You have your Gmail, you have our Mac Life inbox, and then we have the regular accounts where we can, you know, fight through those. But unified email, probably the greatest thing since copy and paste to come into the iOS. It's coming to the iPad. And also, they have the ability, AirPlay is coming to this, so if you have an Airport Express somewhere around your house, you can play music from your iPad to that. So if you have AirPlay set up in your house and you're using it to play music in your living room or a set of speakers that aren't attached to your Mac, you can now use that with your iPad, which is great. You can also do printing. You can print web pages, you can print photos. All you need is a shared printer. So if you have a printer at home, make sure you go into the system preferences, go to printing, click on the printer, click on share. That way it's sharing it with other Macs or the iPad and the iPhone. The iPhone's also getting a lot of these goodies in 4.2. And you'll be able to print from this, which is great. Because we've been using third-party workarounds where you're copying and pasting. And it's a kind of a pain. And the ones that they have out, they work well, but they're super buggy and they're always crashing, and no one, what's the point of having it if it's not going to work? So, yeah, so AirPlay, the new printing, it's pretty great. It's coming out in November. Definitely check it out. Download it, get it. Hopefully it'll make your those people with 3Gs, their phones move a little bit quicker. So, yeah. So that's it. We got anything? Oh, we should talk about Steve Jobs in Japan.
That's what I imagined.
So, according to SPA magazine, and that's how you have to say it because it's all uppercase and exclamation point. Exclamated. Oh, it's not working on the iPhone. According to SPA, Steve went to Japan. And Steve has Apple bought Steve a jet, his own special jet, so he can fly around and give iPods out to the children of the world.
What kind of jet it is?
Lear. That's my name. That's what I always think of when I think of jets, Lear jets or F-16s. It'd be nice if we had an F-16. Just buzzing like going over Seattle, right over the Microsoft campus. Redmond's like, stop it, Steve. So he has his own jet. So that right there, this whole story kind of comes into question. The idea is allegedly what happened was he was going through security. Security found some throwing stars in his carry-on. Allegedly. Why would he have throwing stars in his carry-on?
I mean, souvenirs maybe. They make cool little wall decorations.
But you can't even bring like knitting needles or knives or what else?
True.
Tweezers,
but he's Steve Jobs.
Scissors. I guess he figured it was okay. You
Steve
can't bring like you can't give him a bottle of Gatorade.
Really?
No, because it's too much liquid.
How are you supposed to get your electrolytes?
He's apparently, allegedly, according to SPA magazine, he had some throwing stars. The official's like, oh, we gotta take your throwing stars away. He's like, what am I gonna do? Hijack my own plane, which is a good point actually. And they took his throwing stars, and I guess they probably played with them in the back. That's what I would have done. So Apple came out and said, no, total fiction, not really happening, didn't happen. But of course, if you are a ninja, if he's a ninja, he's not a very good ninja, because they should be hidden on his person, ready to attack at any moment. And secondly, why would he be going through security?
Yeah, why would you have to go through the TSA to go on your own plane?
Yeah, so SPA magazine may... I have my own theory that I talked about in the podcast where they actually saw Steve and his ninja bodyguards, and one of the ninja bodyguards accidentally hit the SPA source in the head, and the guy had a little, memory issue because of this, and that was why they thought it had to do with security. But yeah, that's yeah. And also this week there is a new rumor that Apple is going to be getting into newspaper subscriptions for the iPad, which makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't
see a problem with
it. One of the ideas we talk about rumors on the show, and that's the only rumor this week. It's the most boring rumor we could ever. It's not very.
You're all out there playing with your new iPods anyway.
Yeah, so. No one has time to call Mac Rumors or Apple Insider and say that the iPad is coming out with something.
That's a good rumor. At least it's not something. It's not really salacious.
Yeah, so it's I don't see why that wouldn't happen. You can get magazine subscriptions, save paper. It's the world's most boring rumor. What could be even more boring?
But exciting if you're a newspaper junkie.
Yeah, if you're a junkie, this is great.
Although you can't put your coffee cup on top of an iPad, so...
You could, just be careful.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And you can just wipe off the ring.
That's true.
So that's it. Wow, that's 25 minutes, 20 minutes? We don't know. So that's the show for this week. We'll be back next week. We're going to start shooting at 4. 1 o'clock turned out, in my brain, I thought it was a good idea. And then I realized that everyone's at school and everyone's at work or doing whatever you do during the day. You're LARPing, possibly. So we're going to start doing this at 4. I know it's still kind of tough for people on the West Coast, but if I don't get home at a certain time, the wife gets mad, and I don't want her hitting me. No, she won't hit me. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Yeah. Let me think.
Hit us up with any suggestions.
Look at that. Yeah. Send us any suggestions.
Twitter, send us an @reply at MacLife, or you can send an @reply to Robbie or I.
On Twitter.
On Twitter.
We have Flo is at @OThatFlo.
O-H. Robbie
TH. It's at STRNGWYS. Yeah, it's.
Or you can hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/MacLife. And don't forget to join us tomorrow for Frag the Editor Friday.
Frag the Editor Friday.
We're doing a new thing now, in case you didn't hear on the podcast, where the editors are all going to be playing different games. So whether you're into iOS devices or you want to play Team Fortress 2, or who knows, maybe we can even get Nick to finally get on StarCraft.
Yeah, Nick is the StarCraft guy.
He's been talking a big game.
So but he hasn't done anything. I think he's just...
So go and egg him on the Facebook
I play
page.
StarCraft, look at me. He hasn't done anything. I haven't seen him. I don't even think he has the game.
Yeah, I'm still wondering about that too. Or, egg him on Twitter. He's at Nick, N-I-C, Vargas. And,
what's his deal?
Poke and prod him until he gets on StarCraft.
Talk some smack to Nick about this StarCraft 2 thing that he's allegedly really good at. Allegedly. I don't believe him. We haven't seen it, we don't know. But if you can get him to play tomorrow, that'd be great. Also, we almost forgot, we have a contest going on right now. If you want to win some cool spec cases, Flo, you know more about this than I do.
Right, so you got an iPhone 4, but you really want to cover it. Well, we got you covered in that realm.
You can make phone calls with it because it's covered?
I know, right? You can drop it, although we don't want you to do that. But we got a nice little pack of spec cases, 6 different ones, including 2 fitted case and 4 spec candy shells, and a nice little reusable bag so you can get some fruit and veggies from the market or the grocery store or wherever you get your produce. And it all comes in a
just mac and cheese. You can throw anything in that bag. It doesn't have to be fruit.
It all comes in a neat little box. So we're giving it away. All you have to do is go to the website, check out Best Case Scenario, our twice monthly new column on where we review iPhone, iPad, any cases for your Apple products. And leave a comment in the win thread with the colors that are included in Best Case Scenario. And you could be entered for a chance to win this box of cases. And we'll pick a winner tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Tomorrow. So Pacific time. So right before Frag the Editor Friday.
Mac Lifetime.
Right before Frag the Editor Friday, we will pick a winner. We'll announce them on Facebook, on the website, and
you're going to win some cases, so that's nice. I'm just looking at Twitter real quick. Matthew, you guys should have another camera for close-ups. We tried doing that, and in the time allotted we have to do this, we're going to have that. We thought we were going to do it. If you were here, if you could see, there's just a plethora of cameras lying about. We have all these crazy cameras set up, and then because of time and with our audio issues, we ended up just going with the single camera. But we will have a 3-camera setup eventually.
Still
hopefully next week. 0.25. So on that, thank you so much for watching. We're going to post this on the site later on today. I guess if you're not watching now, I don't know why I'm telling you this. But we'll be posting these on the site live. We won't be editing them because we're too lazy for that now at this point. We've already had to set up all this stuff.
Make mistakes anyway. Yeah. There's no point in hiding.
Yeah. So we'll talk to you next week, 4 o'clock Pacific time next week, and we'll see you then. The show was produced by Jason, the Archduke of the Internet, and we had some help from Future Studios from Chris Chen, who's came in and helped us out a lot.
He just waved behind the camera.
He's waving. Everyone just run over. Yeah, that's it. Talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye. Wave.